So hello everybody, welcome back. Um, this one is another topic about food, and this one you might want to have this written down in some place, because this today's topic is going to be kind of like a class. So, having said that, if you wanted to share a coffee with me, you can do that in the link down below. And if you wanted to help me out so that I can buy more books, so that I can write better books for the collection that I already have in Gumroad, and so that I can do better research, and so that I can explain to you several things like this one that I'm about to do, then you can send an Amazon gift card so that I can get more books. And then I might be able to explain several things later, because I'm a teacher, which means that I do need to read a lot, and I do need to have a lot of books in my collection and stuff like that. So, having said that, I'm not a doctor, but somebody in the comment section mentioned that they wanted to they wanted me to make a video about nutrition and things that are related to the type of foods and health and things like that. So I did get a book that a friend of mine lent me. It was about how to understand the basics of nutrition. So I'm just going to do this like a first part, because it's not complicated, but it is a little bit technical. So that's why I told you that you might need the notebook. So having said that, so basically, when you're eating, you are consuming nutrients. So there are basically two types of nutrients. There is one that provides energy, and there are the other ones that do not provide energy, but rather they will provide support for your body, which is not the same. Think of your body kind of like a house. Your house needs foundations, like the walls and stuff like that. Those are like foundations. But it also needs a sewer system. That means that you require water. But the sewer system does not, it's something that it goes below the house, and you won't need the same kind of support for the sewer system, rather than the one that you will need for insulation, for example, because it's two types of things that are different. So think of two types of nutrients: the one that provide energy and the ones that provide support. Now, the ones that provide energy, the first thing, energy that you are consuming is going to be called calories. It's very important. So calories is just like the measurement of how much energy you're consuming. Think of in terms of the electricity bill for your house, kind of like that. So that is the calorie thing. Now, the more that you do stuff, and the more that you are growing, depending upon your age and depending upon your size and depending upon whether you're healing or whether you are doing stuff like exercising and stuff like that, you will need different kinds of energy, and you will need different quantities of calories. So having said that, there is a limit. So for example, when you are in your house but it is night and you turn off the TV, and then there is no light on in your house because everyone is sleeping, and you have nothing working except for the air conditioner, then the electricity bill is going to be lower. So think about this for a minute, because your brain will never stop requiring energy. Your heart will also never ever stop requiring energy. So those two will be quite important, because your brain will consume more than 20% of the calories in your body, and your heart is the one that will determine whether or not the calories that you're consuming are enough or you are lacking. If you are lacking energy, as in you are lacking calories, your heart will take calories from the muscles or whatever. It's like it will go into emergency mode. It will turn on the generator kind of thing. So the generator will have the fuel that you have in the fat in your body. Women will react differently to this fat. Women will tend to put the fat in the legs and in certain places like the hips and stuff like that, while men will store the fuel for the generator as in the fat. It will more likely be in the stomach area, and sometimes in the back area. Now, having said all of that, the type of calories that you get, as in the type of energy that will come up with the calorie, when you read the label every time that you buy food in the supermarket, it has a label that says calories. Yeah, that calorie, it comes from 4 sources. 4. So write this down. You have 2 types of functions for the food that you're consuming. Either it will go towards your calories, or it will go towards support. If it goes towards the calories, at that time you have 4 types of energy source. So the first source is alcohol. As in, you drink beer, you drink wine, whatever. If it has alcohol, think about this as in you just build a house, and this one is like you having a fireplace. It will give you warmth, but it will not provide electricity for your body, or it will not provide electricity for the house. That means that it will give you energy, but it is not going towards the electricity in your house, and it is not towards anything that has to do with the cells inside your body. It will be actually consuming something. Every time that you put up a fire, it's obviously combusting into something. You have to put charcoal on it, or you have to put paper or whatever it is that you're burning, wood or something. That means that alcohol will give you warmth, but it is also consuming energy from your body. But it is not affecting your electricity or your fat. And that means that if you are trying to lose weight, alcohol will actually be against this idea, because it will make you hot, which means that you're probably going to consume more water and other stuff. But it is not providing your body, your house, with electricity. And you still need to turn on the lights and all the other stuff. So that means that this is a thing that will add towards your energy, but it will not add towards the house per se. So this means that it is good for winter, and it is good for certain things like social relationships, because it will help you relax your body and stuff like that, because if it is a little bit warmer, that means that your body is not too tense. However, if it is, like I said, you trying to come up with let's say that you need 2,000 calories daily, and you're thinking that you're going to get it from alcohol, like I said, it's not going to be the same, because if the source is not electricity, it's fire. So it's a new thing. So having said that, those calories that you have there, they are hot. They are not, electricity, and they are not cold. Now, the other type of calorie is actually like if you were consider this like a house, this will be the electricity bill. This will be the electricity, the thing that makes everything work. And this one comes from 3 sources. proteins, glucose, and lipids. Basically, these three are extremely important. If you lack proteins, you are going to be in huge troubles, because it's like you having no cables inside your house. If you have no cables, electricity can't go to the light bulb and can't go where it needs to go. So you are going to be in huge troubles. This means the following. You have to understand the following. You need to have enough proteins in your body so that the electricity can travel through your body, meaning your energy. You need glucose. That will be kind of like the switches. The switches going, up and down, you turning on and off and on things and stuff like that. And when you are lacking certain, sugar levels or glucose or something like that, your body will take a toll and it will kind of make you crave for something. It will be kind of like you wanted to eat cake all of the suddenly. So it's like your house saying, okay, this is too dark, we need cake or something like that. So having to identify your need of proteins is going to be very hard. However, finding that you need sugar or you need glucose is kind of easier, because, like I said, your body will understand glucose better. You will understand this like a different kind of sensation. So this one is also why when you're craving stuff like that, and when you're dealing with glucose, and when you're dealing with sugar and stuff like that, it will become an emotional thing. And if it becomes an emotional thing that it goes out of control, you will very likely develop diabetes and you will have a lot of issues. And this is because, like I said, inside your house, you have, like I said, cables that go below, you don't see them. And then you have the switches. You are seeing the switches. You are not going to see the cables. And then there are, the things that go, and they are harder, which are the lipids. It's kind of like you seeing the wall. You can see the wall. That one will be the lipids. That one will be kind of like the fat. How thin you look and how fat you look, it will depend upon the lipids. But how you actually are inside, it will depend upon the proteins. And how dark or light is an area in your house, it will depend upon how good are the switches. That means the glucose. So the electricity inside your house, it will be kind of like that. So the three types of energy that goes inside your house, it will be kind of like that. Now, so having said that, I'm going to recap. So two types of energy, actually two types of food functions. One giving you energy. The energy is going to be called calories. The other one is going to be called support. So today's video is just going to be about the energy because I haven't, done the other part. So energy comes from four sources, but it comes in two forms. One is fire and one is electricity. And the way that you deal with this energy, it will be like you having the electricity bill, you having a generator, or you having a fire thing. If you have a fire thing, it's because you have alcohol. And so this one will give you energy, but it will not affect your electrical bill, so to speak. So if you want to lose weight, or if you want to be better or whatever with your body, then basically you do need better understanding of alcohol, because alcohol will actually not help you in those terms. Now, the electricity comes from proteins, glucose, and lipids. And like I said, you will understand better your house in terms of the glucose, because It's kind of like you having the craving thing, and most people will understand that one. However, the need for proteins or lipids are difficult to understand or to feel within our bodies because they are deeper within the house. It's kind of like you don't see the cables inside the house, you just see the house. And when you see the house, what you're seeing is like the lipid part, and then that one is kind of like the resume of this thing. So, proteins, glucose, and lipids. How do you calculate these things? So in each calorie, you will have different kinds of measurements. So these measurements, by the way, are for grams. I don't know how ANSYS that is, but it's just grams. So lipids, you might want to write this down just in case, lipids will have 9 calories per gram. Alcohol will have 7 calories per gram. Glucose and proteins will both have number 4, 4 per gram. So let's say that you have 100 grams of food, and in this food you have 3 grams of lipids, 5 grams of proteins, and 11 grams of glucose. So in these 100 grams of food, I'm going to repeat that, write it down so that you can see how calories are calculated. In these 100 grams of food, because remember, food can contain both calories and support. It doesn't have only calories or only support. It is usually a combination of the both. In these 100 grams, you have 3 grams of lipids, 5 grams of proteins, and 11 grams of glucose. So we mentioned, so that is 3 times number 9, and then we are going to add, to know exactly how much calories or how many calories are there in this thing, we need to calculate how many lipids are there, how many glucose is it, and how many proteins is it, and if it is alcohol, then we are also going to take into consideration the alcohol. So 3 times 9, then we're going to add 5 times number 4, and then 11 times the number 4, and that is equal to 91 calories. So in this example that I just gave you, in 100 grams of this food, you are consuming 91 calories. Now, since this example thing has, like I said, lipids, proteins, and glucose, it does not have alcohol. So this one, it will be kind of like an only electricity. So this will go towards your intake for your brain, and your brain will decide, okay, today I needed only 50. You are giving me 91. So we are going to store 41, and we are going to use 50. Now, remember, this is very, very, very important because this is where things get extremely interesting. Now, your brain will require different kinds of proteins, and it will require more glucose, and it will require different kind of lipids than everything else in your body. And remember, your brain consumes 20% of your energy on average. Sometimes it will take more. So if you have one organ that is consuming 1/5 of your energy, you need to understand that your priority on a daily basis is feeding your brain. And then you feed your heart, because your brain will help you with everything else. And then your heart is the one that will not give up on you, and the one that stays towards the last second, nanosecond of your entire life. In fact, the last organ to fail every time that somebody dies is your heart. Your heart will also require different kinds of, origins in terms of the calories. Now, having said that, this is quite important to understand also. If you are sick of anything, I will recommend that you go to a doctor and ask them to run a test on you that is related to your nutrition. And here is why. So it says here that your proteins are the elemental thing that has amino acids. These amino acids are the ones that will maintain your entire, organs. That includes your brains and your heart and everything else. And it will also sustain your muscles. Now, I do not need to tell you that if you have problems with movement and things like that, that is related to your muscles. If you have problems with your muscles, you may have issues with these 20 amino acids. Because here's the deal. Out of these 20 amino acids, 8, that is nearly half, okay? 20 amino acids that are protein. 12 you will find within your body, meaning your body will process them. It's kind of like your heart says, yeah, I have that one in store. Don't worry, we don't need to buy it. We don't need to call Amazon and have it delivered because we have it. And we will always have it because it's kind of like, you ordering a new heart. You already have a heart. You don't need one. So out of these 20 things that are related to protein only, 12 you can have indefinite supply. That will be kind of like you living next to a lake. You do not need to invest in a huge amount of pipes and stuff like that and electricity trying to get water because you live next to a lake. You are okay. However, the other 8 are a big deal. The other 8, oh yeah, those you need to call Amazon and get it. Because those 8, you don't have them stored and you need them. So, that will be kind of like you having in the house an air conditioner and then your air conditioner needs a spare part. Yeah, I don't think your house has the capacity to produce a spare part for your air conditioner. So, if there is something wrong with with your muscle and the things that are supporting this thing because of the proteins, then you may have an issue with those 8 things that we don't have inside the body because we can only have 12. So, and if you have, here is the deal, when you have, what these proteins, they form. So, it says here, I'm going to kind of quote, translating here. It says, in the other hand, proteins could be compared to computers that are controlling the activity of the machine. They regulate the organism in terms of hormones, enzymes, antibodies, neurotransmitters, immunoglobulin thing, I don't know how to translate that one, etc. And meaning movement, meaning muscle. So I don't need to tell you that if you have problems, with antibodies or neurotransmission things, that means inside your brain, it's probably because, statistically speaking, if you have 20 things that you need in your body and you can only have 12 all the freaking time, what are the chances that you are probably going to be missing one of the other 8 that you just need from Amazon? or from the store or from the supermarket or whatever it is that you're going to go and get it. So, it might be that you are lacking that particular protein and that particular amino acid thing. So, proteins are associated with you consuming animals. But actually, proteins can be found in vegetables too. So it will be depending upon, like I said, your nutrition and your need for proteins will be different depending upon your age, depending upon your size, depending upon your if you are a guy or if you're a girl, depending upon so many things. And this is why there are doctors that are specializing right now into studying nutrition, and that is why they call nutritionists. And this is why instead of you trying to fix a problem, you want to try to go to the root of the problem. Because if you go to the nutritionist and the nutritionist says, okay, you have the 20 amino acids from the proteins and they are all fine, and you still have a problem, okay, fine, you probably need medication and all of that. But if you go to a doctor and they ask for medication and stuff like that, and you still are lacking the proteins, which means that you're lacking the amino acids, like I told you, there are 8 that we do not have, 8 that we need to consume from an outside source, then, what are you going to do? It's kind of like you trying to turn on the air conditioner, but you are missing, I don't know, a spare part for that thing. No matter what you do, you still are going to need that spare part, because otherwise that thing won't work. And so you need the spare part. You need to get those amino acids that are external for us. And the proteins, it says here, that you can get it from animal sources, like I said, but you can also get it from vegetable sources. And I am going to stop this video up to here, because, like I said, it's kind of technical. And now, with this video, you should be able right now to understand that you need, when you're calculating food, you are counting the calories, but that's not how you're supposed to be doing this thing. Because if the calories come from alcohol, they will not help you in terms of supporting your brain or supporting certain things, because alcohol is one of the 4 sources of energy, but it is not proteins. And the proteins are important. The glucose is also important, and the lipids are also important, because they are the ones that maintain your house. And so, but if you are in winter and you need to be a little bit more, a little bit hot, and you need to keep up your temperature and stuff like that, then you might want to, consider the alcohol as an alternative in terms of food. However, like I said, food is never about food, because if you consume too much alcohol, then you probably will end up being, having a problem with alcoholism and stuff like that. So, you need to understand that, this thing about nutrition, it has been forever in our brains. I mean, doctors didn't have so much trouble before with humans 100 years ago, because people took care of their nutrition, and they went to the pharmaceutical thing when the nutrition was actually a problem. Meaning, you ate something and you were kind of balanced, and you understood that you took the 20 amino acids that you need in your body, and you were still having a problem, then you need help. However, now is the complete opposite. Everybody feels sick, so they drink medicine and stuff like that, but they are still missing the 8 amino acid things that are external for the body. And so, at this point, I haven't done the whole research on the amino acid topics, but I'm guessing that I will have to do a video that is specific for that one. But like I said, do go to a nutritionist. And even if you're feeling fine right now, you might want to take a look at how you are dealing with this protein thing inside your body. Because bodies do not shut down 1 minute because you missed, let's say that you missed the shipment for today. You can still get it tomorrow and you're probably going to be fine, no problem. So but over time, this is going to be an issue, or you not being able to process properly these amino acids can also be an issue. And you might not be, it might be the fact that you are looking into medicines and more medicines, and you're not finding the root of the problem. And the problem is that you didn't go to a nutritionist in the first place, and the nutritionist would have told you that you are having problems with these proteins because they are 20 amino acids that are involved into the whole process of controlling, like I said, enzymes, antibodies, neurotransmitters. I do not need to tell you that neurotransmitters are part of your brain, and if your brain cannot do things properly, then you are in bigger problem than you think, especially if it is long term. And the immunoglobulin thing, yeah, I'm sorry, but my English not perfect. And anyway, point being that these protein things will help you in terms of your hormones, especially if you are moody, or you have your period, or you are a woman, or you are going through a process of like growing because you are a teen and stuff like that. Hormones are quite important for everything that you do, including your sex drive. Because if your hormones go out of the root or out of whack, you are either not going to have like need for sexual thing, or you're going to probably be like, oh my god, I can't get enough, kind of like that. So hormones, big deal. And if 20 things are needed for your hormones to be okay, and 8 of them are not inside your body, then you gotta make sure that the other 8 are within control. I do not know if proteins can be stored, for how long can they be stored and stuff like that, because like I said, I need more books and I need more research and I need more other stuff. But so far what I can tell is that lipids are stored easier and faster than the proteins and the other things. And that's why the lipids are kind of like the walls inside in your house. That's kind of like how you look. And so, that one I do know that is kind of like the stored thing. But the proteins, I don't know how fast they will be burned. I do know that alcohol will be burned very fast because, like I said, it's a combustional kind of energy, meaning it will give you hot, it will give you warm, it will give you heat, but it will not give you electricity, So it is 2 types of things. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it was, remember, please to share the channel. And if you have any questions or any comments or anything that you might want me to talk about, I do try to answer the best I can. And hopefully this will help you out. And again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a teacher, and this is like a class, and this is just me telling you that your body requires certain things to work properly, and if they are not there, then you might be sick. And if you are sick right now, you might have issues with the very, very basics, the foundation in your house. And the foundation in your house, like I said, is either because of energy or either because of the support. And there are 2 different things inside your house, if you are comparing your body towards a house. And I do hope that, this comparison is kind of like that. If I am missing something, you might want to write it down in the comments, because like I said, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just giving you a resume on the books that I have been doing research to come up with this video, because it was requested. As in, how do you read the labels, and how do you read the calorie things, and how do you make it, how do you understand this thing? Yeah, kind of like that. So like I said, again, I'm reading a lot, And I do hope that this is somewhat helpful, and it's something that it was made simple so that you could get it. So thank you.